Hey everybody, good morning. It's John with GreenKey. We are on site in the mountains of Virginia and we're installing a Emporia Pro charger today. And it's going to be on a post in the front yard of an older home where their only parking is on the street. There is no sidewalk, which makes it convenient. But we're going to be putting it on a 4x4 post. So I wanted to show y'all what the job entails. And then we'll probably show you a little bit of the installation and then what it looks like at the end. So let's start at the panel, and we have some outdoor stuff here. We've got our main breaker disconnect, and then we've got another panel, and then we've got a 100 amp sub panel that we're going to be using for our 60 amp breaker that's going to power our 48 amp Emporia Pro charger. And part of the Emporia Pro is it uses something called a Vue to monitor power usage, and it dynamically controls the charger and make sure you stay below the limit of the panel that you're pulling out of. So this one, we'll set it up at 100 amps and we'll put the ammeters on it and mount that Vue inside of this panel, and it will dynamically control the charger to stay below that value. So here's our panel. We're going to be coming out of it in EMT conduit and running along the block, and then turning the corner here with an LB, and then running along the block into that corner. And then we're going to run on the band of this front porch, and right here we're going to mount a outdoor box, and then we're going to go down into an 8-inch trench in rigid conduit, and you can see our orange mark on the ground. And we're going to run over here, and here we're going to put a 4x4 treated post. We're going to put our hole in, put a piece of sonotube in, and concrete our post in right here, and mount our charger on the post. And then the individual is going to park right out here, and because the cord's 24 feet long, they'll be able to use it to charge their car. So that's what we're doing this morning. We'll keep you posted as we go, and we'll show you what it's looking like, and at the end we'll show you the final product. So see you soon. And I almost forgot, here's my brother Chase. Good morning, brother.
Everybody.
All right, we'll see you soon. Hey, so we're just about done with this install, but I wanted to show y'all what the Emporia Vue looks like. So like I mentioned before, we're installing an Emporia Pro 48 amp level 2 charger, and it can be dynamically controlled to make sure that the source of power that it's using, that it doesn't exceed its capacity. So this is the 100 amp panel that we are using to power our EV charger. And here's our Emporia Vue right here. And I wanted to show y'all how it's connected to everything so you know what the inputs are and can kind of understand how it works. So we'll start over here. This is where it receives its signal for volts. So we put in 2 single pole 15 amp breakers, and the black and the red wire, one goes into each one. That way it can see voltage on both buses inside the panel. And then it has a blue and a white. And the white obviously is neutral, so that lands on the neutral bar. And the blue is for if you have 3-phase power, that would land on a 3rd breaker. Or if you don't, it lands on the neutral as well. So it's connected to neutral in this case. And then on this side, we have our antenna, which goes through a knockout so that it can pick up the Wi-Fi signal that it needs. And then the last input is current, or amps. And it has 2 ammeters that are connected to the incoming power, and that gives it amps that are coming in. So it has voltage here, it has amps here, so it can see power. And what we do is we set it up in the app for a 100 amp panel, and it will make sure that when that EV charger is being used, that it doesn't exceed 80 amps continuous for this 100 amp panel. And if it's going to, then it'll dial the charger back, and the charger will, you know, basically be charging at a lower output until power goes back down again, power usage goes back down, and then it'll go back up to the 48 amps it normally uses. So that is what is going on in the panel. I just wanted y'all to see that before we wrap up. In just a couple minutes, we'll show you what the final product looks like. See you soon. All right, so we're all done with our install, the Emporia Pro 48 amp level 2 charger. Gonna show y'all what it looks like. So here is our Emporia Pro mounted on a post. We've got our cord attached to the side, and then we have our 8-inch trench that we ran through the yard in rigid conduit to a junction box, and we ran EMT along the house, turn the corner there, and into our 100 amp panel right here. And you can see it's labeled EV charger and Vue for the new breakers that we installed. So that is our install for the day. Turned out great, and we're going to go ahead and set everything up with the customer. But before I go, I just want to remind you that Jesus loves you. He died for you so you could live in eternity with him, and we love you too. Hope you have a great day, and we'll see you next time.